Randall, you got in my way. Cutting Jeff off. Oh, there. Woohoo!
On behalf of the city, I wish to welcome everyone here to the dedication of the memorial. And at this time, I'd like to turn over the dedication ceremony over to our police chief, Byron Froh.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. We weren't sure how this was going to start out. We had weather conditions that weren't exactly expected this morning, but thank you anyway. To begin our ceremony, we're going to have the officers' entrance, and that will be followed by the entrance of the color guard and the rifle squad, both presented by the American Legion. We'll ask for your attention through the entrance of the color guard.
Randall, get out of my way.
Hey, stop.
But they all have to be recognized for everything that they've done. We wish to express our gratitude to Mayor Steinke and the St. Francis City Council for openly accepting and authorizing the construction of this memorial. Commander Frank Belcour, Larry Johnson, Larry Hamill, Max, Bob, and the entire post of the American Legion for their overwhelming support both financially and physically in making this memorial possible. All of the contractors that donated their time, their materials, their expertise in the actual construction of the memorial. Larry Benu and his crew, Paul Martin, Clint Stevenson, Scott Fox, who provided the masonry expertise in the development. Wyatt Brothers, Chemstone Concrete, Brian Merrifield, who provided all of the electrical work. Joe Dean of JD Landscaping for providing and leveling and doing dirt work. Harold Newville from Greenkeepers Irrigation, who installed the watering system. The American Legion and Flag Source, who provided the flags and the flagpoles. Graham Monument, who designed and provided the plaques. Tim and Rich Holland at St. Francis True Value, who provided equipment and supplies. A1 Dirt, Mike Bourgeois of Bourgeois Nursery, who provided the trees and the shrubbery. The fire department personnel who planted all the trees in the shrubbery. Jerry Canton from Watson Turf for providing the sod. Police department personnel, fire department personnel, and Councilman Pete Carpy, his wife Jane, sons Matt and Mike, who came and helped lay the sod. The community courier for printing the official proclamation. Chief Ken Pace, Assistant Chief Barry Taft, and the St. Francis Fire Department, who we've had the privilege of working with on a daily basis. Today we also recognize the individuals that caused the formation of the St. Francis Fire Department. Without the dedication of the three individuals here and other members that were unable to attend, charter members, we'd not enjoy the professional department of volunteers that we see today. Thank you, gentlemen. I wish to specifically recognize one firefighter who insists on keeping his name anonymous. Normally we'd honor this request, but firefighter Tony Walters has spent countless hours coordinating this entire construction process. Phone calls, hands-on, you name it. Tony was there and done the whole thing. We appreciate it, Tony. Thank you. Miss Pam Nutsfald and her family, Harmony Farms, Green Barn for donating planters. The American Legion Color Guard and Rifle Squad for being with us this morning to dedicate this memorial and to dedicate the raising of our flag. Mayor Ray Steinke and Sheriff Podany for joining us and witnessing this event. Our trumpeters who will conclude the ceremony, Dennis Clark and Bill Campbell from the North Suburban Community Band. And hopefully I haven't left anyone out, but if I did, it's totally unintentional, and we thank everyone for everything that they have done. Everyone took time out of their busy schedules, and we made a memorial possible. Now, a bit about the memorial. The memorial itself was constructed in front of the police and fire buildings in honor of a fallen police officer. It contains 4 plaques. The 2 plaques at the base of the memorial recognize the unity of the police department and the fire department as public safety in honor of the officer. A 3rd plaque, which is positioned to the right of the flag of the United States, serves as a constant reminder to everyone of the great sacrifice given in all of the wars by each and every member of the American Legion. These men and women have always stood proud and in most cases physically risked their own lives in order to protect the freedom which we all enjoy. As the reading of this plaque indicates, we as always ask these men and women to watch over our flag. The 4th and final plaque, which sits at the head of our memorial, is why we're here today. June 9th, 1967. A day which began like any other day in St. Francis. The sun came up in the morning and the farmers, after tending to their animals, set out to the fields and everything was normal. Shopkeepers opened their stores, greeted their customers with a smile, and everything was normal. Throughout the day, conversations were held on the street corners. Many cups of coffee were drank, and everything was normal. In the early evening hours, a young police chief put on his uniform, kissed his wife and 2 children goodbye, and went off to work, and everything was normal. At approximately 1 a.m., June 10th, 1967, 33 years ago today, this young police chief observed a gathering of persons and vehicles in a field east of the downtown area. It appeared to be a normal field party. However, this field party would turn out to be anything but normal and was about to turn to tragedy. See, the young police chief did not know that 2 young people, brothers, had left their home that night. These 2 young people had set out to kill a police officer. They had found their way to the field party in the city of St. Francis. As the young police chief pulled up to investigate, a number of persons ran off into the wooded area. The young police chief pursued them into the woods, where the 2 brothers, armed with a shotgun, were waiting to ambush the young police chief. Shots were fired. 2 of which struck the young police chief in the chest. At approximately 1:15 a.m., the young police chief, Gerald Boos, succumbed to the injuries caused by these shotgun blasts and passed away. Life would never again be normal for Chief Boos's family. His wife, Miss Joyce Boos, his son Mark, and his daughter Jody are here as our honored guests today. Miss Boos never remarried and dedicated her life to those 2 children. Miss Boos, you did very well, and we're all very proud of you. Mark continues to be a successful and respected employee with the city of Ramsey, where he rose to the position of utilities and park supervisor. And then there's Jody, the little 3-year-old girl who never really knew her father. Jody grew up listening to the stories and reading the police reports of her father's tragic death. Yet Jody chose to follow a career in law enforcement. It would be incorrect to say that Jody walks in the footsteps of her father. Jody has merely continued the path of footsteps where her father's footsteps ended that tragic morning in June 1967. Jody is today a successful investigator for the Anoka County Sheriff's Department. We're all very proud of each of you and your families. And with this memorial, we promise to keep the memory of your husband, your father, and your grandfather alive in St. Francis now, and for whoever passes by it in the future. Thank you for coming and sharing this day with us, and God bless you. In closing, I wish to acknowledge one more group, the group that stands at the base of the memorial. The group that every day put on their uniforms and go to work when everything is normal. And we pray that they go home at the end of their shift and everything is normal. Department Sergeant Jeff Hairpat, Patrol Officers Joel Gross, John Rowe, Chris McClish, Andrew Claypool, John Keating, our support staff, Administrative Assistant Jolene Wyman, Police Records Clerk Gemma Peterson, Reserve Sergeant Jeff Hall, and the entire Volunteer Reserve Unit. Ladies and gentlemen, your St. Francis Police Department stand in honor of Chief Gerald Boos. Now I'm going to ask Sheriff Larry Podany, our Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the county, to read the official proclamation dedicating this memorial. Sheriff?
What she's accomplished, particularly in law enforcement. Proclamation. In order for the people of St. Francis, Minnesota, to honor and maintain the memory of a police officer who gave his life in the service of this community, a permanent memorial shall be erected. On June 10th, 1967, St. Francis Chief of Police Gerald Boos was watching over the city. Chief Boos came upon a large gathering in a field. Chief Boos stopped to investigate and determine the nature of that gathering. Upon entrance, some of the persons from the gathering dispersed into a wooded area. Chief Boos pursued these individuals on foot. 2 of the individuals acting together lay in ambush with Chief Boos. Chief Boos encountered the 2 individuals and was shot twice in the chest. Chief Boos did succumb to his injuries and passed away that morning at 1:15 a.m. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed that this memorial, located at 3740 Bridge Street, City of St. Francis, County of Anoka, State of Minnesota, be dedicated to the memory of Chief of Police Gerald Boos on this day, June 10th, year 2000.